Welcome to Super Simple Security Principles, where you learn how to think about online security, not just which apps to install. I'm Nick Jackson, here to learn along with you from my good buddy and master guardian, Makani Mason. Woo-hoo! Yeah. This is episode 99. That's right, 99. Why I use an email app. So, Makani, I'm just going to be blunt, man. Why do you use an email app?
Yeah, well, and I know this may not sound like the most exciting topic, but it's a question I get sometimes.
Okay.
And partly, even more than that, is I see people, obviously on a phone, everyone uses an email app.
Right.
But on your laptop or your desktop, most people, at least that I observe, are still using the browser. Right. Yeah. And so this obviously is focused on, my reasons for using an app not on the phone.
Okay.
And some of it's usability, but actually, of course, I want to focus primarily on the security reasons.
Nice.
So, the first thing is phishing. Now, this is phishing specifically against your email account. Okay, it's not going to help you against phishing for any other account, but it does help with phishing against your email account, which, of course, is the most important account not to get phished, right?
Right.
As
What
we've
are the
talked
statistics? They're in
tons.
the 90 percentile. Most digital threats are still stemming from email phishing, something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, and what I mean is, right, some of those phishing attacks are against other types of accounts besides
Right.
your email account. But if you can retain control over your email account, then even if another account gets phished, you're a lot more likely to be able to recover that account.
That's my whole point. Yep. There you go.
And so the reason why that helps against phishing is because if you only log into your email account from the app, not the browser, then that's a lot safer. It's much, much harder. You're not going to be confused about, am I logging into a phishing website or the real website if you're in an app?
Right. That's a good point.
So,
I didn't think about that because I go to a website based off its history and then I've bookmarked it.
Right. Which is fine. And I mean, that's going to be safe too. But it's just if you ever, get something that prompts you where you have to get prompted to log into your email account, that's when in the browser, that's the chance where you can get phished and not notice. That's how it happens.
Yeah.
And so now for some apps, you might have to, on initial app setup, you might have to log in through your browser to your email account, depending on the email account and the app. But you wouldn't have to on an ongoing basis. Because just like on your phone, think about, do you ever have to re-log into your email app on your phone?
One of them I do all the time. It drives me bonkers.
Your email?
No, it's not an email app, but it is an app that I have to log into every single time I use it.
Oh, yeah. No, there are some. Absolutely. Yeah. Some apps you have to log into all the time, for sure.
But not an email. It's not an email app.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't, at least my email apps and the ones I've observed, like, for example, on iPhone, Apple Mail, just the mail one, you don't have to. And for Android, the most common is just the Gmail app.
Right.
And those, once you're logged in, you don't, for all practical purposes, ever have to log in again.
Right.
And so, again, that's just another thing. Now, that means, there's a little higher risk if somebody has your phone because you're already logged in there. But to me, that's a much more, a better trade-off risk than logging in and maybe getting phished and having somebody across the world hack my account than somebody stealing my physical phone.
Yeah.
So, the other thing is with that, if you don't have to type it in, the cost for having a strong email password is lower, right?
Okay.
Because you don't have to type it in every time you
Every
are
time.
logged. Yeah. So even if you don't use a password manager, which of course I recommend, you can, if you're typing it in manually, then you can still have a stronger one because you're not going to have to type it in so much. So
Just don't
that's
forget it.
that's kind of my second argument of why it can be a little better security. There's the phishing, there's just being able to have a stronger password, and yeah. And actually, I guess the third one, which I really started with, but when we kind of talked about this in episode 96 as well, but is not needing to log in to your email account in your browser.
Yeah.
And in 96, we talked about only using your email account for email, not non-email, like your Google account with photos and all that. We only want to have it for email.
Yeah.
So, but I recognize that people are still going to use, Google, obviously. So even in those cases, I still recommend using an app for email, even if you end up logging into your browser for non-email things, because it's still one less case where you're having to enter your email password. So
makes sense.
Anyway, those are my three security reasons for using an email app.
What are the three?
Avoiding logging into your browser.
Okay.
Where that's where phishing takes place. And I guess there's kind of I kind of separate them into three, but phishing.
Phishing.
I guess there's maybe it's just two.
Just two.
But yeah. Well, I guess the way I would separate that is that, and they're kind of all blend together, but you can have a stronger password. That's definitely distinct.
Right.
And the phishing, yeah. Yeah, it's really just phishing, I guess, is the second one.
Okay.
Yeah. I just think it's just very nice to have it isolated.
Yeah.
So, and from a usability perspective for me too, I like it that way.
Right.
But that's a personal preference. So anyway, and the reason why, I guess my takeaway and the reason why I brought this up, even though it's such a simple thing, is because really in a lot of ways it could defeat phishing attacks entirely on your email account. Again, not against all accounts, but against your email accounts. If you only ever enter your password into an email app, not in the browser, then your email account is not going to get phished.
Nice.
So, but for whatever reason, still the push generally is like Gmail has a mobile app, for example, but it counts on the browser for your laptop and desktop. It does not have an app there.
Oh, lame.
Yeah. So I find that unfortunate. And I think the reason why, or at least part of it, is because, Google and Apple and Microsoft, they have these all-in-one, not just email accounts. And so those all need to be in the browser. And so I think they want you in the browser, not in an email app, personally. I mean, I'm not saying it's a sinister secret agenda or whatever. I just think that's where their mind is they want more lock-in to their ecosystem, and, security is a secondary consideration.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Makes total sense.
So anyway, it just, phishing is such a problem, and and we've talked about several really simple ways, and this is another one of them, that it's just, don't enter your email into your browser. You're not going to get phished.
Nice.
So,
You ready for my takeaway?
Yeah.
Dude, this is our 99th episode.
Yeah.
You know, we've been doing this for a minute. We've talked about layering up. We've talked about the importance of avoiding phishing and phishing attacks and all these other things. This is another layer of protection you need to add to your bulletproof vest, whatever you got on for protection. This is another layer you just want to add. It's that simple. You know, get the app, use the app. You know, we understand that they're trying to force you to the browser, but get the app. You're safer that way. You're going to protect your username and password. You know, there's not going to be any clumsy mistakes like, oh crap, I just entered that into a fake Google account. Like, this is a no-brainer. Add the extra little bit of protection. Go find the app, download it, log in. That's simple. Even I can do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Enough said. I like it. Well done.
Okay. Thanks. Are you ready to take action and wondering where to start? Get my Bulletproof My Identity Starter Kit for free. The 7 most vital layers of protection everyone needs. I'll send you one step at a time and help you if you get stuck. Just go to bulletproofmyid.com and enter your name and email, and I will send you the first step. Again, that's bulletproofmyid.com.